Look, that looks dangerous.
We're modifying.
He's modifying.
G'day guys, it's Jamie back again. As you can probably see, I'm on the slasher, and yeah, it's a Monday afternoon. We've just sort of been poking away at this slashing job because the turnip's been sort of really bad this year and it's sort of everywhere. So it's a bit of a satisfying job to do. I'm just here at the chickpeas from where the cotton was in last time, so they're looking pretty good. They just started flowering, and surprisingly they've got a fair bit of moisture considering the cotton was there only a few months ago. But you probably can't see, but Dad's like out there on the grader. He's filling in like a washout or something, waterway, and then Isaac's up there on the drag bucket poking away. So yeah, I got to get the fun little job and just do a bit of slashing. So anyway, thought I'd give you a quick update.
Well, good morning guys. It is a lovely day again today. We're up here at the main farm. Brad and that did take a couple of bits and pieces from the headers to fix up here. One of them is this roller that goes sort of in front of the chopper on the header, so it's at the back of the machine, and it spins around to stop stuff blocking up in there. Pretty important. Now this is the old one. You can see this would be the original one too, so this has been nearly 3,000 hours of use. All the holes are worn through in it, so it fills up with dust and gunk, but also it's got a bit of got a few dings in it. Just yeah, wear and tear. So needed bearings replaced on that, and we're umming and ahhing. Really needs replacing, but it's like $5,000 I think for a new one, which doesn't seem right, but it's just a bit of tube with a few lumps on it and a couple of shafts at the end, but it is what it is. But the story is, we were going to think about making up our own or doing something just to try and save a little bit of money, and we went in to the local where we get our bits and pieces for the New Holland headers, Black Truck and Ag in Moree, and they were chasing up about it, and they said, oh, I've actually got one here that was been here for a few years. It got a little bit damaged in transport, and the person that they'd ordered it for obviously didn't want a damaged one, so it's just been sitting there. So they looked after us well and truly above and beyond what they did for us. So we ended up with a new one there, and all it was, I think it was this end, you might be able to just still see there's a bit of it's not quite perfectly level, but Brad and Phil just banged that out with a hammer. It only had a dint, maybe another 5mm down than that, so virtually nothing wrong with it, and it had been sitting there for a few years. I've just polished up the shafts. It was a little bit rusty, but yeah, that is an absolute ripper of a situation that we found ourselves in there, because that saves a lot of money coming up into harvest, so we're very, very thankful for that. But anyway, I'm currently just swapping bearings over. I've already pulled off this bit, so that sits on the end there, and I need to put a new bearing in there, then whack that on there, and then do the same for the other end, so not overly complicated. We have been, what else have we been doing? I finally finished 3D printing these things, so I've got them all sorted. Rattle guns there. I've got these little holders for the M12 Milwaukee stuff, so they're sitting there nice and tidy instead of just floating about. JD's going to wash out a few filters and stuff on the Challenger there, and then we're just got a few of those sort of odd jobs today. It's been quiet all morning, and the minute I pick up a camera, someone drives a tractor in the shed. It's a bit loud. So yeah, I think that's about all we're ready to sort of report on at the minute. See what happens. We might go pick up the other mother bin a bit later today, and yeah, just triple check that one too. So just a few of those little odd jobs coming up to harvest. Everything's sort of turning, starting to turn colour. So yeah, it might only be 4 weeks away, I think, from harvest. So that'll be exciting. Right, we've got the bearings in there. We had the right ones just sitting there, which is a good thing about having a few of your own bearings in stock. Now, I haven't tightened these retainers up because what it is, I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, but there's two halves of the retainer that squish the bearing like that, just squish it together, and you can actually move it around, and then when you tighten it down, obviously it locks in. Now, the reason I haven't tightened them up because it all depends how it sits in the machine. You kind of want to bolt it up to the machine first and then tighten those down, or you've got to fiddle around getting it absolutely perfect. I'm not sure if you can actually easily get to them. I think you can get to that pretty easily, just to nip them up, and once it's all bolted down here, and then it won't have any sort of pre-loaded strain on the bearings, and theoretically it should be easier on the bearings if they're just in a relaxed state. So that's the idea. Whether that's how it eventuates, I don't know. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll slip this one straight on like so. I've cleaned up, there was a few dings on this shaft, so I'll should be fine. The old one came off, so I'll give it a few taps. Oh no, doesn't need it. Slides on straight like that. I did actually measure the old one. I'll put that on. I wrote there 27.3, which that should be still on that. Yep, so I'll lock that down. And that should tell us how far we want that shaft, which is about there. So that's about the end of that job. The other job, I just took it out here to wash it, and it's been drying. There's this goes on the feeder house of header 1. It's like an idler chain setup. So yeah, I've given that a good wash, and yeah, there's two bearings in there which they feel okay, but it's just part of a preventative maintenance to just replace them.
Well, g'day guys and welcome. Good to see you or be seen. Well, look, that looks dangerous.
We're modifying.
He's modifying. So we've got our workshop here today. So what we are doing is on the cat, the buzzer goes off in a code. Old Kongy helped me with that. It's a buzzer code. So this thing here, and it's very loud. So we're just trying to diagnose that, and I said to Matt, because it comes up with open circuit, yeah, when the wires are like that, and when you bridge them together it's a closed circuit. So you need some sort of resistance. So the old genius over here, although he's listening, I better not let him hear, come up with this little idea. This is a little globe. How many watt globe is it?
It's probably like a it could be a 24 volt 1 watt globe or something. But
Yeah, maybe a 1 watt globe. And so what happens is we put that in and the light comes on instead of a buzzer, and it doesn't send the code up on the screen. So I've just got to modify the terminals so that works. So yeah, I just am amazed by my brother's brilliance sometimes. And Matt's in here on the 280. We have a brake problem. So down in here we've got the brake bleeder, and what's happening is we're getting air in it over time. And what's happening, well obviously, yeah, no brakes, so that's not good. So we need brakes, especially when we've got some kids helping out. So we're actually just going to get some fittings and try and put a tap in there so we can just bleed them real easy. That's the plan. So, yeah.
And I'm trying to organise that mess over there.
And Matt is organising all that. Yes. And he can't stop talking about his pack-out kit, which is a bit alarming.
There's been enough pack-out content on the channel recently.
But I was using this here before. We've got our little Deutsch kit, and it comes in very handy, so you can do a professional job and not know anything about what you're doing. Rightio, we're in the cab here, guys. So that's where the buzzer goes, in that hole. Just put the terminals on there and plug this one in, and I'll show you what happens here. I'll just put you down. Oh, that's not the stand. Too much plastic in the cab. Right, there we go. So that's hooked on. So what we'll do, we'll start it. Oh, I won't even start it. We'll just turn the ignition on and we'll see that light comes on. There we go. So that, we'll see if it's put up the fault here. No, it hasn't. So that's awesome. Oh man, that'll be so good. It's been doing that for a while, eh? Oh, awesome. Rightio. So now I've just got to tuck that away. Obviously it means we won't have a buzzer, but it comes up on the screen. The buzzer just about deafened you too, eh? It was fairly savage. So I'm going to tuck that in here. Go down in here. Ooh, get some light. So that's it there. So I'll just have to tie that somewhere where it's not going to rattle and vibrate. Rightio, we just put the panel in. Now we're ready to give her a little test. See if we have succeeded. Oh, look at that.
Well guys, I did get a bit distracted from yesterday, but we've got this all back together. I think Brad's already updated you a little bit. I heard him on the camera there a bit before. So yeah, he's ferreting away on the Challenger. I've got a few things going on here. Now we've got this all sorted, all back together with new bearings, so that's ready to go down to the headers. Got to clean up my mess here, and that should be all done now. I think Brad did mention the brake issues briefly. So what we've done is, yeah, it's still sort of in the development stage, but we're trying to work out what we do here. Where's the torch? So you might be able to see there's that shiny silver tap facing us. So we've got a check valve that bolts straight into the housing and then a right angle to that tap. So the idea is, with that little check valve, it means that you only need one person to bleed the brakes. And so far I think that's worked. We just got to get the same thing for the other side. But yeah, so that'll be really good. If we feel the brakes it doesn't happen straight away, it happens over a few weeks. It'll just get less and less feeling the brakes, and then then you can just quickly bleed them and you're all good to go. What it is apparently is, I think, either an O-ring or something inside. So basically, to fix it properly, you've got to pull the whole thing apart, and we're not probably keen on that. It's nearly 9,000 hours on the tractor, so unless we have to, I don't think we really want to do that. But yeah, it's not something we should be doing every day or week even. It's just something once off, and yeah, it's nice if you can do it yourself. So that's that. This side over here is going to be a bit of fun to get at, but that's going to be my job, figure out what we're doing there. Well guys, it has been a weird day. Kind of not got anywhere too far with everything, but I think we've got a bit of a plan with the 280. It's just the other side is pretty tricky to figure out, so it's just very tight in there. There's massive harnesses and pipes and stuff, so yeah, we're just going to probably have to stick it out the same direction as this side, and there'll be elbows on elbows, trying to get the tap in the right spot. So anyway, it won't be pretty, but no one should look at it. But other than that, I'm doing a little bit of tidying up. I've got a shuttle cut up there. I've got one here without the bladder, and I'm going to tidy up some of that hose, all the big hose, and just random bits of hose will go in this one, and that one I can put some of the little hoses in. If I get a lot of inspiration, I might even get some little dividers and make up little sections for different hoses and that, but it's just hard to figure out the right way to store odd bits of used hose, or bits that have been cut up. There might be 1 metre, there might be 5 metres, so some of them are rolled up, some of them are just straight, it's very difficult to know exactly what you should be doing there. But anyway, so that's where we're up to there. I'm not exactly sure what's happening tomorrow, but I do think this is probably enough for this video. Before I do go though, there should be some D11 content, but there's forecast more rain, so Brad did have a day or two job to do on Tiny 3. But yeah, we just keep getting sort of rain, and then it keeps getting pushed back. So I'm really hoping that there is going to be some D11 content coming up soon. It's been a long time, and I know that a lot of you guys are interested in that. So, but anyway, we're just showing what's going on, what we're doing, and at the minute that's a lot of farming. So harvest is coming up too soon, so that'll be always interesting. So anyway guys, thanks again for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.